I feel I missed my window to sell my house at the peak and move. Should I wait until rates go back up or rates come back down and housing prices come back up? Or does this even matter? Am I trying to really min max in a situation where I don't need to?
Yeah, this is questions that have come up in our client strategy sessions. People that had thought about the possibility of selling and moving out of the area, moving to someplace cheaper for their retirement, possibly, or during their retirement, or whatever the scenario is. And let's face it, who gets the peak, right? And who actually sold their house at the peak? Some of those people were pretty smart, but most of them were probably just pretty lucky.
Hmm.
It's just kind of how it works. And so I think you have to resign yourself to the fact that you're not going to get the peak. You'll sell and you'll look back and your friends will be telling you how much their house is worth now. You think, oh man, I wish I would have waited. Or, you'll find the market starting to soften and you'll wish, oh, I should have sold before. That's the chance of that happening is actually really, really high. Right? I mean, the
Hmm.
chances of you being totally satisfied at the peak. So part of that is just sort of a mental adjustment to reality as far as that goes. Uh, but the rest, honestly, right now, if you look very closely at what's happening with homes, the actual price of homes nationally, at least, has continued to actually go up and hold. What is happening is that we're seeing longer term. You're not getting, 8 hours later, you got 25 bids, all massively over, current price and that kind of thing. So that has slowed down. So I think right now it's still not a bad time to sell. I don't think that's a big issue. It does matter kind of where you are in the market. One of my clients is actually she markets for a big home builder, and they're a luxury home builder, but they've kind of spread out their packages to include condos, and they're seeing condo sales kind of have more trouble than their big $3-4 million houses because again probably that group that's coming in to try to buy something less expensive is going to be more impacted by the increase in mortgages than possibly the group that's up in the upper end. Maybe they're selling another house, so they got enough money to make it work, or they have stock options, or whatever that might be. Again, it depends on what type of house you have, as to and exactly where you are and what market as far as that goes. But I wouldn't worry about it. If I needed to sell or wanted to sell, I'd sell right now
Hmm.
without any problems. If I had some flexibility, I might wait. But the problem with waiting is you could be waiting for a decade to get back to this price. You have to be really aware. I mean, what the question was, should I wait for rates to drop? And, basically then maybe the price comes back up, right? Wow. I mean, if you could tell that, I wouldn't be playing that game at all. No way. I'd take what I have now if I needed to and not worry about it and just, understand that I was probably never getting the peak anyway, right? I mean, because there's probably more risk that you'd be wrong there and that prices go down and down. You're waiting forever to try to get back to what you could have done today, right? Take what you have today if that's the option.
Yeah, and a lot of people are trying to look for that perfect ideal exit case. But, sometimes we have to settle for good enough. And, we don't always have to go for that perfect. Because when you think about it, if like I'm selling at this price, and like it's come down a little bit, maybe where I'm buying now is going to also be coming down in
Hmm.
parallel.
Hmm.
So like there's also when you buy, you also want the price to be coming down too, right?
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because you might be selling in this area. If you're selling in this area, the demand is still pretty good. There's still stock options. People are hating the traffic, so they're willing to pay, a premium to be closer to work. A lot of the work is in same places, that kind of stuff. So, and you might be moving to another place that doesn't have that kind of employment dynamic, and they could be falling more than yours is. Maybe
Hmm.
you're down 3% from the high, and they're down 7, right? So you're exactly right. It's not just your house. You're going to theoretically, I would assume, buy something else, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, that's a good point too. Is sometimes that can work out to your advantage. Especially if you're kind of a lot of our clients have sold homes because of retirement. They're in retirement or heading into retirement, and they've cashed out the values of their homes. And again, it depends on I don't know where this person lives, where everybody lives that might ask this question, but in our area here, pretty good chance, even though it's off the high, you've made some money.
Yep.
Right, because the price of houses did so well here. So take that and be happy with that.